QB era matters. I think a lot of you guys are still stuck in the Stone Age when it comes to discussing the quarterback position and comparing a Dan Marino to a Joe Burrow. Yeah, they had similar years. Dan Marino went to the Super Bowl but did not win, and Joe Burrow also did not go to the Super Bowl and did not win. But what Dan Marino did in his heyday is a little bit more impressive than what Joe Burrow did because the rules were quite strict back then, as in strict towards the quarterback. Now, I'll give y'all this. The 90s, we started seeing more QB protection rules in particular. So, what we did not see was wide receivers getting protected at the rate that we seen now, especially starting in 2009 and 2010, which I would like to call the era of all the big hitters at the safety positions being absolutely annihilated out of the league. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One, it was extremely dangerous for human torpedoes to be sinking quarterbacks like they were battleships. That's not a good look for the NFL, especially during a concussion lawsuit, which I'm pretty sure they're still paying out people to this day. So that's a problem. Another problem is you have quarterback names like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. This was the biggest, most star-studded transition in the quarterback position. Manning Bowl was prime time television in Monday Night Football. Colin Kaepernick, these young, new running quarterbacks that are dynamic and can do a lot of things on the football field, they also needed protection when they were in the pocket. Trust me, if the NFL could protect a running quarterback while they were running, they would. Now, the more smarter of the running quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes or anyone not named Trevor Lawrence who likes sliding into people early on in his career, use the sideline to make sure they don't get mollywopped into the next dimension. So, is it really that big of an issue? Well, if you think of Lamar Jackson this past year, he just got injured, and you could say it was because of his mobility being that. Now, I'm done picking on Lamar Jackson. I talk about a pocket passer who at the other end of the spectrum, which is Joe Burrow. Again, he has also been injured the same amount of time Lamar Jackson has, and the rules don't necessarily protect him. Now, I'm not saying go back to these rules so I can rank these quarterbacks properly with Tom Brady against Joe Montana or Peyton Manning against John Elway or Aaron Rodgers against Patrick Mahomes even, because some of Rodgers' career was in the time period of what I'm talking about. He actually was probably one of the first quarterbacks that was, if I remember correctly, that 2009 2010 season where they started really protecting the wide receivers. We have to look into why quarterbacks are ahead of one another. Y'all just accept this as it's facts. Guys, it's not facts. It's not clear cut. There's no clear cut reason why Josh Allen should be ahead of Lamar Jackson when they both lose in the playoffs consistently. I don't care if the other one plays better. It makes no sense. It's a results based league. That's why people get cut. That's why coaches get fired, because quarterbacks and the eras matter. If we're in the quarterback era, no matter I like it or not, I can make a bunch of videos about how I think quarterbacks get too much credit, but it does not matter because we're in the era where they matter more than anything else. That you will get fired even if you won a Super Bowl for that franchise if the quarterback has any fugazi thoughts about you. That is a lot of power to give to somebody, even with MVPs. That is dangerous. Dangerous for who though? The organizations. And they probably know more than me about running a multi-billion-dollar org, but I watch the football games and a lot of them, they have consistency, but the consistency is that they suck. So we'll see. But until then, stop comparing quarterback eras between eras. Please put some type of line of demarcation in between your takes, so we have a good starting off point. Thank you. And that has been my unofficial TED Talk.